Firstly, I will be talking about cameras. Analog cameras. Celluloid and videotape are two types of analog cameras. Tape was mainly used in the 70s to the very early 2000s because it was the best format to use before DVD comes in. But celluloid was the best camera to use because of the quality of it. But it is used by filmmakers with a higher budget, so it was a better quality, but it's harder to use because how sensitive to the elements it was. Things have good and bad things about them. The good thing about celluloid, it has the best colours out of any formats, but the bad thing is you can only use 10 minutes of celluloid film in an analog camera and you cannot reuse it after. The good thing about tape is that it can be reused and very cheap, but there's always a con. Very easy to damage analog videotape with no way to repair it. But in the end, it all changed. Digital started to get a better quality of pictures that was matching celluloid's format. The storage was more simple and doesn't require processing as it is very instant. Now moving on to the digital camera. Right, here's a diagram of how the digital camera works. Lights, shutter, lens, mirror mat, screen focusing, pentaprism, eyepiece, shutter, sensor. The future for digital camera is making it 8K, which would be crystal clear because it goes up in well, at the moment they're trying to work on 4K, which is all quite you won't see it's pixelized if you zoom in, it'd be more clear of the picture, and that's 4K, so I don't know what 8K is gonna be like. It's gonna just be mad. Now on to color temperatures. Color temperature is the presence of white light with the lighting in the scene. To make a location of the scene more realistic, it can be altered and adjusted to fit in. The colour temperature on digital can be changed on the camera while filming, but on analog you can only change on the production stage. The colour is measured in K, which stands for Kelvin, as you can see on screen. This is called the Kelvin scale. This is in molecule. For example, if I want to try and make a nice daylight effect, it would use 13,000 Kelvin. A cloudy day would be 65,000 K. For a mid-clear day, it would be 5,600. For night time, it would be 4,100 Kelvin. Tungsten light would be 3,200 Kelvin. For early morning rise, it would be 3,000 Kelvin. And for a matchstick flame, it'll be 17,000 K. Aspect ratio is a proportional relationship between the width and the height of an image. The 4 means the width of the unit, and the 3 leaves it with being with the height of the units. But it's key that the image on screen matches the aspect ratio, otherwise if it's the wrong ratio, you can end up with a little screen and black borders around of the picture. But for the cinema, it's going to be a bigger ratio, and by using a bigger screen, the more of a feel you get from what you're watching. But you have to change the aspect ratio for a TV because of the size difference. Recording formats. There are many types of recording formats, and in order of when they came out was the celluloid reel in the 1880s and onwards, Betamax and VHS, which all came out in the 1970s. Same with the Laserdisc, and came in the late 1970s. DVD came out in 1995. Download like Netflix and Amazon Prime 1997, and then HD DVD and Blu-ray came out in 2001. Mad. But Blu-ray and HD DVD are both a DVD that can hold high definition that can be stored onto it. But Blu-ray won the battle. Download is just an easy way to watch films, TV via the internet. That means you can watch it on your computer, tablet or smartphone. With the Laserdisc, it was the first form of DVD that had higher quality than video system. Betamax and VHS, on both of these home systems you can record programs at home, but on VHS you record up to 2 hours of footage, whereas on Betamax you could only have an hour of recording time. So VHS won that battle as well. Celluloid reel was the first form of moving pictures by using celluloid film. So, as everyone knows, that's just a pretty easy one. But the pro of a celluloid reel was moving pictures available for the first time ever. With Betamax and VHS, it allowed instant access to footage and greater running time. For Laserdisc, its high quality footage could be watched. DVD was improved idea of a Laserdisc. It was smaller and ability to record onto a disc. Download made it easier to access films such programs from anywhere without it being needed for a specialised player. HD, DVD and Blu-ray disallowed higher resolution of a DVD. But the cons of a celluloid was it wasn't instant because the film had to be taken away to be processed and you had to wait. Betamax and VHS, the bulkiness of a tape led to storage problems. Laserdisc, the players were far too expensive and the discs were 30 centimetres wide, which is quite big. DVDs didn't work on CD disc players. Download relies on internet connection. And the HD, DVD and Blu-ray requires a dedicated player and discs are more expensive. But for the future of recording formats is that Amazon and Google have been trying to make this sort of format called HVEC, which is basically you can watch a film or a program on like one like format, so you don't have to like keep like buying all little formats when it just all be like stored onto one. So it just makes it a bit more easier and more efficient for the world. So yeah, digital broadcasting. Digital broadcasting, it was first introduced in 1996. It's a lot more effective than analog because it was faster and more reliable. 2 years after they broadcasted a digital signal for the first time, they had released Sky Digital, platform capable of showing more channels than analog. But for these digital signals to be broadcasted, they had to compress the HD files so that they can travel quicker whilst keeping the same format quality. Camera, control room, transmitter, satellite broadcast instruction, received by satellite dish and then sent down to your TV. Analog broadcasting. It was first introduced in 1930 and that is how TV was first broadcasted. But the BBC is what made broadcasting more popular than it actually was. The TVs were a lot more different. They are now... The TVs were a lot more different in comparison to what they are now. And they didn't have colour on the screen, it was just black and white. But when you got bad signals, it was because of the antennas, which was made out of a bad quality material. For the screen image being fuzzy was because of the magnetic fields which were created from the weak signals. Also, the weather didn't help with the signals because they kept getting disrupted, and that did not help with anyone, really. Compression formats. They are used to export a video or audio, but with compression formats there are many types and they all have their advantages and disadvantages. One type is X264 and it is free. It also gives the best video quality. This software can stream into H.264/MPEG for AVC format. Another is AVI, and this is the one quite a lot of people know and most popular format to videos on a PC. However, AVI can hold lots of different types of videos and audios with the helping hand of DIV video. MP4 is mainly used to store video, audio and text and images. But the H.264, it gives great quality but takes longer to render. Also, it's most commonly used formats for recording, compression and disruption of video content.